Hi there. My name's Nate Pike. I wear a bunch of different hats, but I think that I'm going to talk mainly from two of them today. The first one is I'm a paramedic. I'm a paramedic in the city of Calgary. Thank you. I've been a paramedic in this city for 10 to 12 years, and I can tell you that within the first responder community, the folks that I work with across the first responder community are some of the bravest people that I've ever met. And what I can tell you is the steps that this government is taking right now are making those very brave people very, very afraid. And that's the whole point. The whole reason why Bill 1 exists. And I have a really hard time believing that Jason Kenney and his UCP cronies don't acknowledge that the bill that they've crafted is profoundly unconstitutional. They know that. They know it's going to get defeated eventually. But what they're trying to do is scare Albertans. They're trying to get you to not use your voice. And the only time anyone tries to silence someone is when they're afraid of what they're going to say. So it's more important than ever that we make sure that we're standing up and we're using our voices in every capacity possible. Because I can tell you this, as a paramedic in Alberta for the last 12 years, I've seen the real Alberta. I've seen what this province is capable of. I'm not going to deny that Alberta has a lot of problems and we got a lot of issues that we got to sort through. But when we're at our best, we are an amazing province. In 2013, when this was underwater, Albertans stepped up and they supported each other. When Fort Mac burned down, we had one of the logistical problems that we had to deal with was the fact that we didn't have places to put all the donations people were stepping up and offering. That's Alberta. So when people say that people are going to be silenced by this law, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. Because Albertans, that's not how we're wired. I'm a big believer that if you're going to stand up in front of somebody and say that you got a problem, you also got to present some solutions. So I got 3 things that I want to encourage everybody to do over the next coming weeks and months. First of all, one of the big advantages that the UCP and their supporters have is they're not afraid to talk and to force their opinions on other people. Now, I don't think we should be forcing our opinions on anyone, but we need to start having more difficult conversations. So the thing that I'm going to ask from everybody here, one conversation that's uncomfortable every week from now until the next provincial election. We do that, we can start to change some minds. Second thing that I'm going to ask for, one of the big areas, the next big battleground that I see coming up is not whether or not Bill 1 gets defeated in court. It's the municipal elections. Because we've seen with the legislation that this government is putting forward that they're coming for our towns, they're coming for our cities, they're changing the formula to make sure that big money can influence these things in ways that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. So if you want to stand up against what they're trying to do, you need to identify progressive candidates in all of your wards, and you need to make sure that you're going out and you're supporting them. And I'm not just talking about a post on Facebook or a tweet. You got to get out there, you got to do some door knocking, you got to tell your friends, you got to hand some flyers out, because if we use our voices, there's no way that they'll be able to stop us. The last thing that I want to do, it's a little bit selfish, so just bear with me. COVID has been very, very hard on all healthcare practitioners. There's no question about that, okay? First responders, and my coworkers in EMS in particular, we have been the pointy end of the spear for the last 4 months. And I am watching my coworkers get tired, I'm watching my coworkers get frustrated, and I'm watching them start to feel really, really defeated. Because they're doing some of the hardest jobs that are out there, and we know just as well as the nurses, we're next. So next time you see a first responder, just say thank you. We're terrible at accepting compliments. We're really bad, we'll get super awkward. But if you say thank you, I guarantee you that's going to be a conversation that we talk about in the truck. That's going to be a conversation that we talk about in the hospitals when we're stuck waiting in the hallways. It makes a big difference. I want to start. Probably going to get a little flack for this, but I want to start. So I want to say thank you to all of the first responders who are out here today protecting our charter rights to make sure that we can have this conversation. So thank you to the paramedics, thank you to the police.